Peace Walls programme is part of our current strategic framework, which is Community Transformation Strategy. What we're trying to achieve is really look at one of the lasting legacies of the Troubles, the very visible sign of division which exists across Northern Ireland, and that really is the interface area of the Peace Walls. It's more though than just about removing the Peace Wall. It's about engaging with communities, having communities think, what could life be like when the Peace Wall is removed? The history of the Peace Walls programme really stems from the work that we've conducted with interface communities over a long period of time. The reason that the Peace Walls programme was engaged is that one particular organisation just couldn't deal with this issue on its own. It's a very difficult area to work in. One, you're doing community capacity building. One is about addressing the security fears. One is about the physical transformation of the communities when regeneration needs to occur. And the other is about the security element. The IFI recognised that and thought that they would take the leadership role, and that is one of the strengths the fund has shown over 26 years, that it will take the initial steps to address some of these issues. So what we do differently from other funders is that we engage with all stakeholders. We engage with the Department of Justice, with the housing executives, with the local city councils, with the communities themselves and other funders to ensure that all those actions complement each other. There are certainly risks associated with a programme such as the Peace Walls, most notably because of the security risks, and that's something we try to address. We try to have communities work together to address the security fears that they have, so that they can progress to the point where they feel that the Peace Wall can be removed, and that Peace Wall will only be removed when the community is ready to do so. The security element resides with the Department of Justice. They ultimately have the decision on removal of a Peace Wall. We just didn't want to bring a community to the point where they feel they could progress and they didn't have future support. And that's one of the strengths of the programme. They have that support when they need it. The response to the programme has been overwhelming. There are 100 structures across Northern Ireland, and we're engaging in projects in 80 of those. So that shows the success of what the programme is achieving at this moment in time, and indeed the appetite for interface communities to develop solutions to the problem of removal of the Peace Wall. The IFI can measure success of this programme in a number of ways, and it's not just solely about the removal of the Peace Wall. Out of the 80 structures that we currently work at, 16 of those structures have seen physical transformation, removal of barriers at this moment in time. But we're also seeing attitudes change. We're also seeing the psychological barriers start to change within communities, and they're willing to engage more openly one another to develop solutions to these problems. Since the inception of the Peace Walls programme, we, the IFI, have contributed £2 million towards the programme, but we've leveraged £5.9 million from other authorities, from other agencies who also have a stake in the removal of the Peace Wall. The legacy of this programme is working as it is today. We're starting to see communities engage. The walls are starting to become porous. We're starting to see grills being removed from windows. We're starting to see normality brought back to people's lives. They're starting to think about how they can look at employment, how they can look at education opportunities for their young people. And these are all the issues that we've seen from research have impacted on these communities living in interface areas for such a long period of time. But the Peace Walls can only be removed when the communities feel it is right to do so. A success for us is making the conditions available for communities to make that decision, and that's ultimately what's happening at this moment in time.